All right, Joe. Good morning, New York City. Good morning, small business owners. Today, small business reigned on City Hall. Yeah. Today, small business was the thunder at City Hall. Our message is clear. Fighting for small businesses protects jobs, protects communities, and protects New York City's future. So, what do we want? Fairness. What do we want?
Now.
What do we want?
Fairness.
What do we want?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
Today, small business, employers, employees, community leaders, and associations come together to send a clear message to this administration. Enough is enough.
That's right.
6,000 rules and regulations, 250 licenses and permits, 15 agencies, all while our small businesses compete against chain stores, internet, consumer changing behavior. It's unfair that City Hall be an obstacle and be a further competition to our mom and pop shops. Mom and pop shops are the backbone of this country. They are what makes New York City so great. They are the ones that live here, provide, and encourage the flourishing of our great city. New York City must get out of the way, must be supportive, and this crowd here is a clear demonstration of that. Look around, white, brown, black, men, women, people that get up every morning to open their doors and struggle to do so should not be hindered by this city. So today, it's small businesses that are the whistleblowers. We blow the whistle on City Hall for being an unfair partner. Blow your whistles. In bad times, this city relies on small business to get us out of our economic woes. In good times, this city puts progressive measures through fines and violations on small business. Well, my question is simple. When is it going to be a time for small business to flourish? When are we going to be there to support the very people that make this city so great? This is just the beginning, folks. We've got a long game toward this. So whether it be real estate taxes, fines and violations, whether it be agency after agency, regardless of the industry, the profession, or where you are in New York City, today we speak in one voice, and that voice is whose city?
Our city.
Whose city?
Our city.
Whose city?
Our city.
They better be listening in there, because we are the backbones that keep them in there, and we can easily take them out if they don't fall in line. So, here's our next step. This is just scratching the surface. There's a real estate commission that's being assembled that's going to figure out the system when it comes to the real estate taxes for New York City. Small business needs a seat at that table. Our brick and mortar shops cannot carry the burden for the rest of the city. We need help. We need a partner. We need it now, and it starts with real estate taxes, and we move it up. We have a charter revision coming. At this time, we're going to be working for an independent small business commission to be assembled, independent of government, to push back on regulation, taxation to make sure that our mom and pop shops have an opportunity to survive and provide. This is just the beginning, folks, and I credit you for taking off from work, for making the time to be here, to make sure that our voices are heard collectively. And that is, enough is enough. Let me hear you say it.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
So, let me add, we've introduced a bill that will further define small business. Talk about micro business, the real mom and pop shops, the 10 employees and under that make this city so vibrant. The guys that get up every morning and work alongside of their workers, not as employer and employee, but as a family to make this city great and so they can provide for themselves and their families. This is the beginning. It doesn't end here, and let me continue by inviting someone that deserves a round of applause. Let's give a nice round to the borough president of the other great B borough, Brooklyn, Eric Adams.
Really want to thank Mark and his colleagues that are here today. Oftentimes we are on the steps when we promote the benefits that come from small business. Now it's time for us to stand with small business. So we need a roll call on who's here and present, and are they willing to say that not only are the small businesses the backbone of our economy. A 2013 research showed that 97% of the business that's generated in this state is generated from the small business, the mom and pop shop. We can't say small business, mom and pop shop are part of our family. That every day we're carrying out domestic abuse on our family members, our mom and pops who are running these local shops and local institutions. This is a paramount issue. Government has no business destroying business. This is the empire state. We build empires, not destroy them. And we have gone too long of taxation through citation, gone too long of having agencies after agencies in a way of opening businesses and realizing if you don't open a business and hire, we cannot have input into our tax accounts that allow us to do the services that we need, from education to social services and all the other services. We are who we are because of small businesses. And when we send communication to Councilman Joe and I, and saw what they're doing in other states such as San Francisco and other cities, and we say we should have an independent small business commission, immediately he took it and he said we're going to make this happen. It's a window of opportunity that's open now with the charter revision. We need to have this on the charter revision. Our small businesses who are here and throughout the city, do not continue to allow yourselves to be detached spectators in this full contact sport called life and business in this city. Raise your voice, organize, come together, use your power to say we want to have a seat at the table. You can't continue to be outside looking in while others are making decisions for you. You must have your seat at the table. This commission would allow that to happen. Thank you, Mark, for making it happen, for pushing this forward. This is only the beginning. We are now saying the city must be open for business. The state must be open for business. Just like you are open for business, let's make sure you stay open for business. Thank you very much.
All right, let me bring someone up that's known to all of us, a real fighter, a grassroots fighter, takes off her gloves when she needs to. Let's give it up for Bertha Lewis.
Oh! was from the Black Institute. Here's why I'm here today. As some of you know, me and the mayor, we're not girlfriend and boyfriend no more. We kind of like had to break up. And you know what we broke up over? Minority and women businesses. Woo! MWBEs are small businesses too. Oh, by the way, do we know what the definition of a small business is? Is it under 10?
No.
20?
No.
100?
Yeah.
Sometimes. But MWBEs have been getting the shaft from one administration after another. We have Councilmember Cornegie here, who heads the MWBE task force.
Right.
Together with this leader, and I mean a leader, Councilmember Mark Jonai, small business MWBEs are together. We are not separated. We get 5% or less of the city contracts. We get the same fees, fines. We go out of business in less than 5 years. There's over 4,500 registered MWBEs, and yet we can't get our fair share. We can't get paid on time, and we are regulated horribly by the administration that sits in this house behind us. Enough is enough. MWBEs and small businesses across the city and across this state, we are together. We have the same issues, and we want to make sure that we were here today to send a unified message that enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm only as good as the partners I have, and what's true for all of us. So let me bring up my next partner, someone that was the chair of small business and now is the chair of WMBEs. My friend, my colleague, our Councilman Cornegie.
So listen, on a boiling hot day, we're out here in the sun, and we shouldn't have to be. It should be common knowledge that this city is based on small business. Let me give you a statistic. 80% of all of the employment in the city of New York is through small business.
Yeah.
Not big business. We're out here trying to court the Googles of the world. That's not who employs our people. On the ground, it is small businesses 80% of the time. I've always said that in 5 years, we could change the direction of unemployment if we could build capacity in small businesses to hire one more person. If every business here could hire one more person, we would cut unemployment in half by 50%. Why aren't we doing that? So when I listen to the mayor's plan for employment, the governor's plan for employment, it's really, really simple. Build capacity within our small businesses so that they can hire one more employee full-time, and we will break the record on decreasing unemployment in 5 years. That's it.
Let's bring up another advocate of small business, Councilman Hoven.
Thanks, Mark, for being a champion of small business. Every year, City Hall studies how to improve small businesses. Yet what happens, folks? Nothing. Nothing happens. They keep harassing us with the tickets, the summonses, and now in my neighborhood, there's a film shoot every week. They take over the entire commercial district. What do the small businesses get? Nothing. We get zilch. The city gets the goal, we get the shaft. So we need to really start coming up with solutions, and We're getting 99-cent stores. We're getting chain stores, mom and pop. Bring back the mom and pops.
That's right.
Those are the stores that we need. They have roots in the community. They have roots in the community. I have one gentleman here. His property tax has doubled from $20,000 6 years ago to $40,000 for a preschool. He can't do it. He can't make it. He's going to talk later. This is unbelievable. Most cities, by the way, most big cities, have a plan for small businesses. Why don't we in New York City? That's the question we have to ask. So glad you were here. Let's keep doing this. I know it's hot. I don't want to keep going on into the hot air. But thanks, Mark Jonai, for wonderful leadership on that. Thank you very much.
Let's bring up another fighter of small business, our very own Councilman Malone from the famous line of Malones.
Good all day.
It's still good. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Let's hear it for Councilmember Jonai. Listen, when you have a small business, you know what it takes to keep that small business open. We are the first ones up in the morning. We are the last ones to go home at night. We take care of every one of our employees. We take care of our families. We take care of everything that's good about our community. But what has this administration done for us?
Nothing.
Who helps us? Nobody. There's an $87 billion budget. What part of that comes to small business? Seriously, what are we talking about here? There has been no relief for small business. Councilmember Carnegie saying, let's hire someone else. I say, let's try to keep who we have. It's almost impossible to stay open in New York City. This is a city that has forgotten what small business means to the heart of this city. Over 220,000 jobs, over 80% of the city, and yet that doesn't make the 6 o'clock news. That doesn't make a headline. We have been forgotten, and that's why we are here today, right?
Right.
We need a government that says, here's the dollars, and here's where it goes to help small business. I defy you to find that distribution of dollars that goes to help small business. All we do is pay and pay and pay and get fined and regulated and fined again and said, you're not doing enough, you got to do more. Businesses are closing, and we need to stop that. That's what today is about. We as council members who have districts that are middle-class districts, that are small business districts, that are fighting for men and women and every ethnic background, the time has come for us to say, what has this city done for us? And if we don't see it, we're going to see a change. God bless every one of you that are up here.
Next up is the articulate, the handsome, the flamboyant
I just spoke.
Councilman King.
First, I want to say that
Colorful.
very colorful. I want to say to you, Councilmember, thank you for your leadership. Not only as a small business person, someone who's been doing the work before they got elected, and that's true leadership and true commitment to making sure small business that here, small business are us. That's New York. Small business are us. Small business are us. Small business are us. Small business are us. Mr. Mayor, save all of us because small business are us.
Help me welcome up Councilman Rodriguez, the small business.
We can!
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
First of all, I gotta say that when I came here in 1983, I came to wash dishes at O. Henry Restaurant, West 4 and 6th Avenue. So I'm pretty sure that small business, they will not be able to hire me, to allow me to make my living, to support myself and my family. You know, these days we are trying to compete to provide billions of dollars of incentive to Amazon to come to New York City. I believe that New York City is a city of opportunity for everyone. Yes, there's opportunity for the real estate to do well. Yes, there's opportunity for the top corporation to come here because we need a 28% of the bonus to balance the budget in the city. But yes, most of the jobs in New York City are created by mom and pop stores. As we have put together a transportation action plan, for something that is a crisis that did not happen overnight when it comes to transportation, we need to put together our small business action plan. And this is what the colleague here is doing. He's leading his fight. He's also committed to work together with us to have a hearing for the Small Business Survival Act. Yeah. I believe that there's opportunity for everyone again, for the real estate to do good, for the big corporation to come here, but also to provide an incentive. I hope, again, something that I'm doing in Inwood is something that will be, at least I'm discussing as a rezoning. I'm calling for New York City to provide a percent of commercial space affordable to local small business when the property owner develop with tax dollars. We need to be sure that we work in this initiative and more initiatives to come because, again, most of the jobs, la mayoría de los trabajos en esta ciudad los construyen los dueños de negocios pequeños, los supermercados, la mayoría son dominicanos, las bodegas, la mayoría son dominicanos, y somos los latinos, afroamericanos, asiáticos y anglosajones los que mantenemos el pulso de esta economía. Sí se puede.
Let's make this message clear. This is not employer against employee. I know, I hear it every day, that employers say, I would rather give to my employees than government. I just can't do both. This is a movement by employer and employee, collectively to push back on this city. So let me bring up someone that can articulate that better than most. Let me welcome up Mark Chappie from the Greater New York Chamber.
That's right, let's hear it. Let's hear it for the leadership. Let's hear it for small businesses. And you heard it today, micro businesses, smaller than small businesses, mom and pop startups, one mother who needs a job, who's willing to start working at home. These are the people. These are the people that need all our support. And I look forward to working with the commission, the voice of the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce, the largest chamber in Manhattan, because we include MWBEs. We include everybody. We include micro businesses, startups, veterans. We're here to help. And next meeting, we can hold it in our air-conditioned offices. And you're all invited. Mark Jonai and this whole new council team is going to take us in the right direction so we can do better, feed our families, and truly be a great city, the greatest city in the greatest nation. And I'm so proud to see our leadership working on this hot summer day. And let's continue it right through the summer.
Woo! All right. Let me bring someone up that's no stranger to any of us, representing the National Supermarket Association, Nelson Estebu.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Joyner. The job you're doing here today is fantastic, and small business can't thank you enough. But I have to tell you, in the 60s, the 70s, and the early 80s, when New York was burning, where drug was rampant, was crime was everywhere, it was small business that maintained this city. Big business hightailed and got the hell out of here, while small business stay here and kept the doors open, kept the trains working. Now today, everything is good. The city is moving forward. Now they want us out. They don't have room for us anymore. They want to bring in the big business. They give incentives to large corporations. Why can't small business have incentives? They give electrical breaks to large corporations. Why can't we get a break from Con Ed? We need a break from Con Ed. We need a break on taxes and high rents. We all love Whole Foods and Trader Joe and all those type of businesses. They're good in the cookie cutter. But you ask a woman who has 4 small children to feed her family from Trader Joe or Whole Food. It doesn't work. It happens in our supermarkets, in our stores, where the prices are affordable, where we carry the product that the community needs. Not what's trendy, not what's moving national, but moves in Washington Heights, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx. Those are the products that we carry. And by the way, those are the people that we hire. Local people that live right around the corner and down the block from our stores. We are part of New York City, Mr. Mayor, and we're not leaving. Thank you.
Woo! Let me bring somebody up that's in the trenches every day working with mom and pop shops. Someone that represents a bid, the 3rd Avenue bid from the great borough of the Bronx, Michael Brady, Executive Director.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for coming on this hot day. The face of New York City's bids are changing. We're becoming more representative. 48% of our small businesses are owned by immigrants. 359,000 of our small businesses are owned by women. This mayor has failed us and continues to fail us with his bureaucracy. Today marks a very strong day in our city's history. It's where we say enough is enough. Today is about building partnerships to free our small businesses from the albatross that is this administration from around their neck. Today we push for small businesses to have a seat on the Charter Revision Commission. We push for small businesses to have at least a 2% reduction in their commercial taxes. Today we push for New York City to embrace the retail diversity plan that was released in December. It's time to stop the bullshit and move forward.
Did I mention articulate, Brady? Let me bring up another. This isn't about retail. This is just about delis and bodegas and supermarkets. It's all facets, all professions, all small business. Let me bring up Abe Champaigner as a nursery school owner to share his experience.
I want to thank you for the honor of speaking at something that I feel is so important. I'm the business owner that Bob referred to when they talked about property taxes. In the past 6 years, my property taxes have doubled. That is unsustainable. For anything to double in 6 years is unsustainable. That's number one. Number two, as small business owners, minimum wage goes into effect January 1st, $15 an hour. I'm sure that every business owner back here wants to provide a good wage to their workers, but what people don't understand is $15 an hour means $18 to us because of payroll taxes. So that minimum wage will make it $18 an hour for every small business owner. Thirdly, I want to say, people always talk about corporate America. That's not America. This is America. Look behind you. Right. Blacks, whites, every ethnicity, every religion. All we're trying to do is make a living here, and our single biggest obstacle is the government of New York City. Woo. Thank you.
Let me bring up another representative of an industry. 3rd Jerome Avenue, Pedro Estevez, who represents the United American Motor Mechanics Association.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm glad that I have the chance to come over and bring in front of you what the city is doing with the automotive industry in the city of New York. First, 250 businesses in Willis Point disappeared. 45 businesses in 1080 Leggett Avenue that we tried to transfer there. They mismanaged the funds, disappeared. 200 businesses in Jerome Avenue, they're rezoned. They only could operate on an industrial sector. Now it's a residential. There's no place where to go. Where are these businesses going? This is 495 businesses that went down the drain. Thousands and thousands of families. They are 99% owned by Latinos and minorities. When does the city going to stop the abuse and the elimination and the marginalization of our Latino and minority communities? Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Yes, it's no surprise. Women are small business owners, minorities are small business owners, and if this is the fairest big city in the country, it's not fair to the very people they're supposed to be helping. So let me help me bring up the Bronx Chamber of Commerce under the guidance of Mr. Nunzio.
Thank you very much for coming out here Small businesses are the backbone of this country and our economy. Without them, there won't be any City Hall. And we need support from our elected officials. We can't rely on just, being the piggy bank for electeds. We need support, and we're glad to be here with Mark.
Woo! I want to make sure chamber associations that work each and every day in the trenches against this administration have an opportunity to speak. So help me welcome up from the City Island Chamber of Commerce, none other than our dear friend, and I just drew a blank. Skip! Skip! Please join us, Skip. Skip. Come here, Skip.
So many names to remember.
Right, so many names right here, Skip.
My business is the epitome of the mom and pop shop.
Just come back a little bit, just a little bit.
My business is the epitome, the poster child for the mom and pop shop. It is a tiny shop in a tiny neighborhood that hires local kids, keeps them busy in the summer, and every chance the city gets to hurt us, they hurt us. If it's not a regulation, it's an additional tax. It's a parking issue. It's pick an issue, and they come up with it. If we eliminate small businesses, we destroy our neighborhoods. They're no longer neighborhoods. They're just places where people live and go to work elsewhere. We need the city to come to this and understand it and listen, and we need everybody to make as much noise as possible. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Skip. Let me help welcome another small business owner, the representative or the chair of the Westchester Square Bid, none other than our very loud, our very own and passionate John Benizio.
Okay, a lot of people are speaking here today. I just want to ask a question. If the mayor was here right now, if the speaker was here right now, they would say to you, what are you talking about? We put $191 million a year into the Department of Small Business Services. Where is our commissioner for the Department of Small Business Services? This is small business here. Where is he? Where are they? Where are you?
Because we represent all types of industries, from mom and pops, from the little nail salons, to the pizzerias, to the grocery store, to the bodega. Let's bring another industry that's not referred to as a small business, but really is. Help me welcome the Bronx Chamber of Commerce, the Bronx Manhattan Board of Realtors, none other than Ellie Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mark, Joe, and I, and thanks everybody for coming out. This is my board president, Christina Lee Stevens. Realtor issues are consumer issues. Our fight is to make sure that we preserve the American dream of home ownership. And to do that, we must do everything we can to preserve and protect and defend our businesses, because realtors are part of that community. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's bring up another small business owner to share his experience, a florist. Let's bring up Anthony Nunziato.
Nunziato, thank you. I just want to say, my family was a minority back when they came here in 1911, but they stayed here. My family fought in every war, and we had casualties in most of them. We're very proud Americans, a small business, but every day I have someone coming whipping out a badge. Do I look like Al Capone? They're whipping out badges for the Department of Agriculture, badges for all kinds of permits for flowers outside, cleaning the streets. When this movie industry comes to my town, they take over the streets that I maintain 365 days a year, but I lose business for 2 or 3 days. This is not what it's about. When a big business wants to outsource, they send everything to India or someone else. We don't outsource. Our outsource is a bicycle or delivery man. We're the people of the city. They're robbing us. We have to have a voice. I thank the council people representing us. It's a mom and pop shop, and a lot of them don't even have mom or pop working. It's either one or the other. We're tired. We want our taxes working for us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good job.
So help me deliver that message. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Whose city?
Our city.
Whose city?
Our city.
What do we want?
Fairness.
What do we want?
Fairness.
When do we want it?
Now.
Now let's bring up the Bodega Association. Frank Marte.
Hey, Frank.
Gracias, my journal, for what you're doing. And it's something that we need more help from the city. What the city is doing, they be pushing us out of the business, small business. When we've been in the city before, when nobody want to be in the city and doing business there, we were there. We was risking our life. And now all of the rent, the big box store, they are pushing us outside. We don't receive any protection from the city, from our authority. We need some protection. We be there since early in the morning to late on the night. We are facing a lot of risk and we don't receive any protection. We need the help of the city, the help, all of the business and our leaders to come together to combat or fight the violence that is rising. We need to work together. And we want to give you a thanks to Mark for what you're doing. Let's work, let's say we belong to the city. The small business is who move really the city. So let's stay together and work together.
So, because we embrace diversity and New York City is diversity, let's hear it in a language that we all know, Spanish.
Gracias, Mar. Yo creo que este es el momento de que alguien ha llegado a defender nuestro pequeño negocio, del cual hemos perdido, todos los bodegueros estamos perdiendo por los problemas de la ciudad, que no nos apoyan lo suficiente. Tanto los landos como la ciudad nos acosan de una manera donde hemos tenido que perder diario 2 y 3 negocios, donde hay 29,000 bodegas que son parte de la protección de la familia, donde ganan sueldo para mantenerse y quieren llevarnos a la bancarrota cada día. Pero gracias a John ahora que va a defendernos 100%, estamos seguros que hay que apoyarlo, y gracias a todos ustedes que nos han apoyado aquí en su participación hoy.
Thank you. Gracias, señor. Let me get one more small business owner. They want us to wrap it up, but I can't help but bring up this man. Someone that knows the small business issues. Mike Bercelli.
My family's been a small business in this city for 69 years. I would remind everybody that the country and the Declaration of Independence happened as a result of oppression, government oppression. We are all the victims of government oppression. This mayor requires city workers to ignore certain laws and requires them to enforce the letter of other laws to the detriment of the community, hitting us with thousands of dollars in fines every day. Nobody can withstand that. It has to stop.
Thank you, Mike.
What do we want?
Fairness.
When do we want it?
Now.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
It began today. We've got a long road ahead of us. This is the backbone that needs to be embraced. Thank you, and God bless you. God bless your profession. God bless this country.